Business capacity is often talked about and quoted in the world of business. And in this week's video, I'm going to explain what business capacity actually is, share some examples with you, and outline why it's such an important concept and measure to understand. Let's crack on with the video. Now, the idea of capacity, the official definition is the maximum output you can achieve with a given level of resources. Is that a helpful start point? Well, it's a start point. Let me explain fully what that means with a variety of examples to help illustrate the idea and concept of what business capacity actually is. Now, let's assume your business is as a consultant. Your capacity is based on how much time you've got in your working week. So if you're working a typical 40 hours a week, and of that, 5 hours is put to one side for admin and for marketing, your available capacity to deliver work to your client is 35 hours per week. Depending on how many weeks you work in that year, let's say it's 50, then 35 lots of 50 gives you 1,750 hours. That is your capacity. If you recruit an extra member of staff to your team, you could double your capacity as well. Now, if we move away from that solitary consultant, that solitary freelancer, let's imagine the world of manufacturing. Now, you're a company that makes, let's say for argument's sake, tables. You make a particular design of table, and your capacity will be based on how many tables you can produce in your workshop, in your factory, in a given set period of time. Let's assume you've got your factory running. It's assembling those tables for you, you're finishing them off with your beautiful carpentry, and you may have available 80 hours in that week. Each table on average takes 2 hours to make, so that's 40 units of product you can manufacture in a given week. So your capacity is based on the machine running time as well as your own time. If you're a restaurant, you're going to be measuring your capacity by the number of covers that you've got available. And obviously the number of covers you've got available, how many bums you can sit down at those tables here, will be governed also by your opening hours. And so your capacity to take on number of diners will be based on the size of your restaurant and how many tables you can squeeze into that wonderful restaurant. Now, capacity can also be given in terms of warehousing. So the amount of products that you can store will be based on the size, the physical size of your warehouse and the products and the inventory that you're storing. So having looked at that, capacity is something that can spread across the board. It's typically based on time availability. It's based on physical production throughput, production output. For a retailer, it might be based on shop area, shop space. So various different types of capacity in different organizations. However, why is it such a big deal? What makes it such an important concept and measure to understand? Well, I'll explain why. The amount of capacity you have has a massive impact on the level of customer satisfaction and the customer demand that you might have. So in my own businesses, which I've been running for over 28 years, one of my firms, I run an accounting firm called I Hate Numbers, and the amount of capacity that I have will be based on how many members of staff that I have, my staff team, and any freelancers that I'm using to engage. If I get a lot of clients who want to use my services of me and my team, me being able to deliver that work on time at a good level of quality will be based on how much capacity I actually have to start with. If I'm thinly stretched, a lot of my staff are on holiday, absent, or I'm running a very small team, but I've got a big demand for my services, it's likely somebody's going to be disappointed. It's likely somebody's going to have to wait. So that's not a good look. If you're a manufacturer and suddenly you have a demand for your products and services, the amount of capacity you've got for output would have an impact on how long your customer has to wait for that end product. Now, if we look at capacity, you could have what I call spare capacity. So you're waiting around for work to come in, and that capacity is there to take up that demand when it's needed. Other companies may not have enough capacity. And when you're planning, when you're looking ahead through the windscreen of your business, the capacity that you have is vital to actually meet your sales forecast, to meet your sales demands. So it plays a big part in the planning process as well. Not only that, understanding what your capacity is helps you make decisions about making things more efficient, where you can actually look for where waste is occurring. So therefore, you need to have a good concept and a grasp of what your capacity is. And those are 3 good reasons as to why it's such an important measure. Just as a spoiler alert, folks, in next week's video, I'm going to drill down, look at some good measures and KPIs that we can have for measuring capacity, and also sharing some tips of how we can improve and bolster our capacity. Now, let's just round up what we have. Capacity is measured in time, it's measured in units, it's measured in available space if you're like a warehouse. It's important because it gives us the idea of whether we can meet and deliver the demand to our customers. It's important to making sure that we're not running thinly stretched, so therefore it doesn't dilute the quality of the products and the services that we're delivering. It makes sure that we've got enough capacity to meet any positive impact of any marketing, any sales activity that's going on. So knowing what your capacity is plays a vital part not only in planning, maintaining customer quality, but making sure that you can meet the demands of the marketplace, making sure that you're not investing too much time and energy in having idle capacity. So folks, I hope you found that useful. How do you measure the capacity for your own business? Is it measured in time? Is it measured in units? Is it measured in occupancy? Is it measured some other way? And until next week, folks, I'll see you on the other side.